John can never do weekends.
No.
I don't know whether you're talking about other John or just yourself in third person.
Sometimes I don't know.
Welcome back to Would John Rather. Nathan's returned again because John has decided that he needs some time apart from us. He needs some time off because he's joined the NRA in America.
I thought he'd joined EDF.
EDF?
It's the IRA he's joined.
What? Wait, he's joined the company that sells furniture off for cheap.
No, that's DFS.
No, I thought... No, it's MDF where they make cheap wood.
No, MDF. No, he's EDL.
Oh, what they used to call text messaging, like SMS.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Oh,
So
go on.
Oh, he's joined a racist environmental group and is living in a tree at the moment.
He's just texted me LOL. So yeah, welcome back to Would John Rather, except it's not John's, but this time, and not John's asking the questions on behalf of John, so now it's Would John or not John Rather asking John or not John questions.
Seems straightforward to me.
Well, yeah, if you can't keep up, then join a more slow-paced program, more up to your speed. Amateurs.
Because we're in the idea of keeping up, shall we dive right in?
Yeah.
Okay. So, would you rather have to sleep under a blanket that's trapped on all sides, obviously other than the one that the top half of your body comes out of?
So a sleeping bag?
No, it's in your bed, like when you go on holiday and they tuck it in really tight. Like that, but you cannot untuck it, or no blanket.
What's the temperature of the room?
Well, it depends on which night it is. This is now forevermore.
Okay, no blanket.
I think I would rather have the blanket that's trapped on all sides.
Is that because you're into, like, bondage?
Well, it would help if I was.
It's a very smart way of getting out of the question.
I need a blanket to sleep, even if it's really hot. I just like having something covering over my skin. Maybe I shouldn't sleep naked on every night, but I do. And
I've learned more about you just now than I have the entire time we've been friends.
Well, no, I say naked, but no, I'll generally wear some boxer shorts. But
are they yours? You didn't specify
that's
your boxer shorts or not.
That's too personal. And I just, even if it's just a very thin layer, I need something. So the idea of going to sleep with no blanket ever again, even when it's really cold and I'm in some boxers, that's not going to go down well with me. So I need the blanket. I like consistency, and that way I'll know that there's always going to be a blanket.
So the obvious argument to this question is I just won't use a blanket, I'll use a duvet. But I'm sure that Nathan's thought of that, so he changed the conversation. So we'll put that to the side. In the summer, quite often, I'll just kick the blanket off and just sleep, similar to you, just in my boxers. And in the winter, I'll put on my onesie, put on a few extra layers. Jobs are good in. Rather than being sandwiched in like an envelope, the thing about having a duvet or a blanket or whatever you want to call it is being able to adjust your own temperature throughout the evening. And that means sticking one leg out, two legs out, or you have two legs out and the corner of the duvet covering your body because your body's cold but your legs are too warm, rolling over, shaking it all about. I mean, I've got a fiance who basically, when she rolls over, she'll take whatever part of the duvet. So I sleep on the right hand side of the bed, so my left shoulder's up to her right shoulder. But she'll grab the duvet that's on her right shoulder and roll over to keep that part on her right shoulder, which means that all of a sudden my duvet's gone, and I go, oh, okay. to the point that we had this conversation recently. Now that it's winter, the heating's on, but still it's winter. So she put the second king duvet on the bed so we could have a duvet each if we needed to. The first night it was there, I got into bed. She had both duvets wrapped around her like a sushi roll.
Like a burrito.
Yeah, so it didn't work, but it was fine because the heating was on. So I got the bit of duvet that I could, the almost flannel sized part of duvet that was available to me, and I made it work. So I'm used to it, is the point I'm trying to make.
I think in terms of the regulating your body heat, I move around quite a lot. So I think what I would end up doing is there is obviously a section that is untucked because your head goes in there. Is I'd just go in head first for a bit, have my legs dangling out of the top end of the bed, and then spin round underneath the blanket and have my head come out, maybe have an arm come out for a while.
Like a PS1 game, like the one I'm thinking of is Metal Gear Solid, when you're trying to like crawl under something and you do a 180 and all of a sudden your legs are poking out and your head's disappeared, and then you spin around again and your head's poking out and your legs have disappeared.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's how I'd regulate my body heat.
So you'd just be like a little Joey, just in a kangaroo pouch, just living your best life.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be in this bed with your wife, I presume.
I imagine
Maybe.
it's quite awkward if John gets into bed first and it's the bit where it's just his legs dangling around and he's started to move and she walks in. John, what are you doing? And John's just inside going,
Should
me.
go, this is a normal day. That is what she would say.
And out of all the animals I can think of, I think a baby kangaroo would suit you quite well.
No, an adult kangaroo, because then he can get in its pouch.
No, I mean John being an animal.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
To John being a baby kangaroo
Now,
quite well.
now I've got a vision of an adult kangaroo with John in the pouch with his legs sticking out.
For that image alone, John wins.
What? I put the image in your head? You prick.
Yeah, for John's scenario, so he wins.
Oh, my wife.
It was the most believable.
Well, suggestion of the week time. My suggestion's very quick. Don't let your brother come on your podcast.
For reasons of...
I'm losing.
My suggestion of the week is go visit your national parks.
But we can't, because other John's there protesting. He's just in a tree throwing rocks at people.
Anybody who tries to come into the national park.
Yeah, he's anti-national park.
He's put up a barricade around the entire park, picketing it, saying no more national parks.
I think that's got to be the worst thing to be anti.
Anti-national park. He's just there with a like picket, just going pro paper, pro English paper.
Fewer environmental protections, more mining.
Especially here in this national park.
There's
Yeah.
lots of coal underneath the Lake District. Get it out in the most destructive way possible. When do we want that? As soon as feasibly possible.
Fuck Sherwood Forest. How about Sherwood John Rather?
Okay, so you can either go to your national parks or be like John and protest their existence.
Well, no, either way you go to your national parks, but you can
Yeah,
either
either
go
way,
there
go
to see the sights and help support the
Or
countryside, or condemn them.
Maybe he just really doesn't like the National Trust because they charge for their car parks.
I think that's what it is. Because if he really didn't like them, then he'd just set them on fire.
Yeah,
And if there's one thing we know about John, he's not an arsonist.
yeah, I've always said that.
Yet. This might be the thing that...
Tips him over the edge.
Yeah.
I definitely interrupted your pun. I apologise, brother.
It's fine. Question 2.
Yeah.
What comes after 1?
What normally comes after 1 was suggestion of the week. So now we'll do question 2.
All right,
Would
smart
you
ass.
rather in your house only have doors or only have windows?
I only have doors. Windows are for looking in, not for looking out.
Really?
When's the last time you sat in your flat or house and looked out the window? Genuinely. Genuinely.
I mean, I did it about half an hour ago.
Yeah.
That's because you're a werewolf and you're just checking on the moon.
I was keeping an eye on the dog. I also do it to keep an eye on the kid. I mean, it is quite cold outside, so the kid should probably come in now, but...
You're busy recording.
He's banging on the doors, going, "Let me in."
What, the dog?
Yeah, his speech is coming on really well.
You've helped teach him. You've eliminated his lisp.
I'd rather have windows. Because
What floor of your flat complex do you live in?
I'm on the first floor.
Oh, okay, so it's not too far down.
Yeah, but he doesn't just have to have windows on the outside.
So how are windows on the inside going to help?
You have the big fire escape windows, don't you, that open up all the way?
Oh, I thought you meant like a window from his front room to his bathroom, so he could just be like, open the windows like, Kirsten, Kirsten, stop screaming, Kirsten. What do you want for dinner?
So there's no internal doors either.
No. Well, you could. The easy solution here would be open plan, but sure.
That would be a solution. I mean, our living room and kitchen is open plan, so that's fine.
You'd want a good design, so like don't be sticking the toilet in the middle of the kitchen.
Yeah.
And
I
you
mean,
can still
that
have-
goes for any house.
Yeah. You can still have partitioning walls, but
Is that what was wrong with my house in Reading? It had the toilet at the back of the kitchen.
Yes.
I think all houses in Reading have that.
there's
Because I
quite a
moved
lot.
house. There's a lot of houses that are like that.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of houses, and in certain areas, that's the way they were built. No bathrooms upstairs, and all of them. Then normally you have to walk through the kitchen to get into the bathroom,
Yeah, that's what it was like.
and it's horrible.
Because you also, when you have a shower, have to walk through the kitchen in your towel to get back to your bedroom. And
Yeah.
if
I mean, you
people
don't-
are
you don't-
cooking bacon, you're exposed.
You don't have to. You could take your clothes to the bathroom.
What kind of freak are you?
But also, if someone's cooking a nice dinner and you've got the nice smells, and then someone goes to the bathroom and makes a not nice smell, you don't want them to open the door and just be like, "Oh no, right, I'm not eating anymore."
It sounds like your kids want letting in.
Yeah, but his list's still there. He's got to stay out a bit longer.
So I'd rather have windows because if you didn't have windows, then you wouldn't be able to get any natural light, and then you wouldn't be able to photosynthesize, and then you wouldn't grow.
I mean, my first point is, when's the last time you photosynthesized?
Every day.
And my second point is, doors are much easier to get than windows.
Are they?
Yeah, because people are always saying you make a much better door than a window, so surely they're easier to come across.
Does that mean you just got loads of people just standing making your house?
Yeah, and I'll never be lonely.
Also,
People
What-
will be watching what you do in your house. I'm pretty sure a lot of them will stop speaking to you.
Sometimes it's nice to sit in silence with a friend. It shows how comfortable you are with each other.
so number one, the practical side of only having windows would obviously be the access to extra light. The
Number two, shut up.
number two, shut up. Number three, it's more exciting climbing out of a window than climbing out of a door. Or if you're gonna rate your life in thrills, walking through a door is not up there. There are no there are very few exciting stories that involve solely walking through a door. You might walk through a door and then something happens, but you could have an entire story about climbing through a window.
Could you though? Surely it's exactly the same as I climbed through a window and then this happened, or this happened because I climbed through a window. That's exactly the same as saying, oh, well, I walked into it. You wouldn't even mention that I walked through a door. That's how important they are. It happens all the time and you never mention it.
Yeah, it's
And
boring.
more importantly, you can't get revolving windows. You can't get revolving doors.
I hate revolving doors.
I know you do.
Well,
They're the worst kind of doors.
No, they're not.
I had to go through a building that had automatic revolving doors, which meant you had to step into it, wait about 4 seconds for it to register you were inside it, and then you had to slowly shuffle as it moved you round.
Yeah, I know the ones.
Awful. And they're tiny. So you end
I
up
hate-
like bouncing forwards and back on the two revolving doors.
I hate any kind of revolving doors.
Like a trapped fly.
Yes.
If you make them automatic, you're giving them a mind of their own. And everybody knows that robots having free will is
AI
what
is
ends
bad.
the world. AI is bad. Revolving doors are worse. Combine
That's-
them.
That's what they've not worked out in all these sci-fi films, is the robots aren't going to take over, it's just the revolving doors are going to take over. They're just going to keep us captive.
What are you going to do about Post?
Post.
Yeah.
I thought you said popes, as in like leader of the church.
No, Post. You can't. I mean, you probably could put a letterbox on your window, but that seems a bit excessive.
We could just get him to lob it over the back fence.
I think back in the old days, people used to greet their postman through the living room window. They'd go, "Oh, hi, Pat."
Good use of imagination for your postman's name there.
And then you'd have a chat through the window, and then he'd pass you your post through the window. Also, I've just realised, having a window between your living room and your kitchen wouldn't actually be so bad at all. It's just a hatch. Lots of old houses have those as well, and I really wish our house did have a hatch, actually.
Yeah, but there's a lot of pros to having windows between interlocking rooms in your house, but the access and the fire safety of having no doors. I mean, first of all, peep forms every time you have someone disabled come over is going to be a nightmare. But sometimes I just don't want to climb through something to get home. I just want to open the door and walk in. And you just had that day. You just had a day. Just that day where you just, I literally just want to get home. And you get home and you go, oh, fuck's sake, I live on the first floor. I've got to climb the rope ladder.
Do French windows count as windows or doors?
I would say they're doors, because I would call them patio doors.
Yeah.
Okay.
I deliberately stopped so I'd let Nathan decide because I didn't want to influence it, but I'd say they're doors.
Okay. Right. Well, that's
Also,
awful.
patio doors on the first floor aren't great. That's like having a balcony without having the actual balcony.
I have a balcony, and it's got a door that's a window.
So what about your ventilation and everything in your house, Matt? Are you just going to have doors on in place of every window?
Well, seeing as I'm a person who prefers the curtains drawn at all times and never open windows, I don't see what impact it's going to have on my life.
What if you want to see what the weather's like?
And I Google it like a normal human.
Okay, just the sad image of Matt being stuck essentially inside a box, Googling what the weather is like outside.
But it's not a box because there's doors. Like, genuinely ask yourself what's more useful. Yeah, I get that the only thing that windows are good for is seasonal oppressional disorder or whatever it's called. So you've got natural light. But what's natural light ever done for us? Oh, by the way, you can only have light. You can only have light when the Earth says so. So that's why I'm currently sat in my games room with the main light turned on, because I rely on natural light. No, it's because I have light when I need light. That's why lamps and light bulbs and torches on your phone exist, because you need light when you need light. The only time a window is useful is you run to the window in the winter because someone on Facebook has said that it's snowing, so you go and check that it's snowing. To check the weather in general, which you can just Google, so it doesn't matter. Or, John won't understand this because he lives on the first floor in a flat, but when you live in a house, curtains are open, and people walk past and they look in and they judge you. It's like, I'm sat in my house masturbating, do you mind? So fuck you, windows. There's no need for them. They have no use. Also, I've just realised partly my hatred of windows is because I work in hotels and people check in for one night and go, oh, they said I'd have a park view. You're here for a business conference. You've checked in and it's already dark. You're leaving when it's going to be dark. Why the fuck are you complaining about a park view? You're going to look out the window and see what? Dark.
That's how much people care about their windows.
Yeah, it's false.
It's not false.
It's
important to other people.
But when you break down the reasons as to why, it's a facade. They're not important at all.
In your opinion.
The only windows that I agree with are bay windows, and that's so pets can greet you when you come home.
Also, we haven't even discussed computers yet.
What? Because of like Windows ME and Windows XP and stuff like that.
Windows 10, Windows 7.
Okay.
There aren't any door operating systems.
No, but you talk about meeting a girl and she only likes it up the back door. That enhances a lot of people's lives as well. Yeah, we can all get clever.
Just yours is crude.
Mine is crude. But, well, given the choices, I'm sure the same amount of people have used both.
John, have you got any more argument?
What, besides photosynthesis, hatches, and computers?
Plants deserve to live outside.
And thrill-seeking.
Hey, mine was thrill-seeking as well.
No, you said you didn't want to have people watch you masturbate through the window.
I didn't say I didn't want to.
I want people to see everything I do.
So open your door, invite them in, invite them to join.
I don't want them to come touch me.
No, but what's better, seeing it on the screen or seeing a live show?
On the screen.
I've now just got the image of John being one of the people in the windows in like the red light district.
But I'm not dancing erotically. I'm just cooking sausages.
Head first in a sleeping bag, masturbating with his legs jiggling out the top, doing a handstand. Come inside, see my wares, see the magnificent upside down masturbating John.
Why do I have to be masturbating?
I don't know, but you just do. And do you know the only way they're going to come inside? Going through the door or going in the back door?
Christ. This is what my life's become.
I'm going to ignore both of your arguments and doors win.
Yeah, buddy. But why?
Well, it was mentioned, but you never actually picked up on it. You've got patio doors, basically massive windows, so you've got the best of both worlds.
True, but most doors have got windows on anyway, at least outside doors.
Yeah, but you never even mentioned that.
I stumbled upon it and then wished I hadn't.
I noticed that you mentioned it and then just left it there like, that's not good for me. But then Matt never took the reins for that, so...
I was too busy thinking about backdooring it, so...
You won, but through no fault of your own.
He just didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
I can live with that. A win's a win.
I've got one more. So question 3. Keeping on the same sort of theme,
What of people watching John masturbate through the window?
I mean, it is about knobs, to be fair.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I don't know. I don't know whether you're referencing the masturbating or me.
Being one.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've got another question.
Oh, John, we're doing to Nathan what John and I normally do to you.
You're doing to Nathan. I've played no part in this.
Oh, don't be like that.
Right then. Door handle or doorknob?
Door handle. Oh. I'll stick with it, but
Well,
I mean, I'll give you one, John. It's pro because it's got the word knob in it.
you can definitely make some. It's easier to make childish jokes.
It is.
And if there's one thing I've always said, it's that immature, childish jokes are the best kind of jokes.
It's true. He has always said. There's a lot of things he's always said that you've never heard him say. There's a lot that we cut out.
There is a lot that we've cut out.
I feel like you've developed a new catchphrase. And I'm really trying to help you with it.
You have helped me each time I've said it. You've helped keep it going.
Good. I mean, handles are obvious unless you've got a really bad person who's installed them. I mean, as an example, it's not a direct example. Brother, you're a Sparks, so you understand. But a lot of our light switches in the house are upside down. So occasionally, and I can't remember whether it was a specific one, I'm sure it was in the house we were growing up in, we had one door handle that was upside down.
Yeah.
But generally, a door handle, you know which way it's turning. A knob, sometimes it needs to be just pulled. Sometimes it needs to be turned. You don't know how hard it needs to be turned. The same can be said for handles, but knobs are always a bit more tricky. I mean, the same goes for all knobs. Like, some need more handling than others. Some are more sensitive.
Some needed more turning.
No,
you're doing it wrong.
No, I was being very specific, and once again remembering that Mother listens to this. But yeah, no, handles are just easier for idiots.
I don't want idiots coming in my house. I want people who can work it out for themselves. If they can't work it out, they're not welcome.
I mean, normally you have to let people into your house. Normally it's not a puzzle.
Well, that's where you and I differ.
And your puzzle is just a doorknob. Like, you have to have an IQ of 12 to be able to get into my house.
Yeah, but it's a doorknob on a window.
It is a doorknob on a window. It's just the first layer of mystery.
What's the next hurdle? A curtain, a net curtain. Like, fancy spiders.
There's an iron curtain actually.
I say I could have knitted the net curtain for him.
No, because they're not made of wool.
Then there's a man who says something like, "Answer me these riddles 3."
Have you heard that one? You know, the Sphinx riddle. It's like, what walks on 4 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and 3 at night? Do you know that riddle?
No.
Have you never heard the Sphinx riddle? So it was what walks on 4 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and 3 at night. Any ideas?
No.
John?
Walks on 4 in the morning.
2 in the afternoon, and 3 at night.
Is it a person getting
Yeah.
old?
It's man, so you crawl on your hands and knees as a child, you walk on 2 feet as an adult, and then when you turn into an old person, you need a walking stick, so it's 3. Well done figuring it out, although you must have heard it before. But the new version is a man walks past the Sphinx, and they say, what walks on 4 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and 3 at night? And the man replies, oh, it must be one of these new Pokemon. There's so many now. There's got to be one of them. And the Sphinx goes, yeah, to be fair, there's far too many to remember. Just go on your way. That's pretty much correct. It's not that funny, but it made me laugh. But maybe that's because I learnt the Sphinx riddle when I was like 7, so I've known it my entire life. And then to hear a variation of it, so when I was like 7, 23 years later.
Right, I think this has gone on far enough. Back to the question.
Yeah, back to the question. So yeah, handles are more useful in a lot of things like briefcases and bags and subjects because you have to get a handle on things. I've just realised I've dug my hole because knobs are quite useful as well.
I think a briefcase with a knob handle would look awesome.
Yeah, and nobody wants somebody. Nobody thinks that a boy with handly knees is adorable.
What are handly knees?
Knobbly knees.
Okay, is that something you just invented?
What, knobbly knees?
No, handly knees.
Yeah, I was saying that nobody has them.
Oh, it was a
It's
joke.
ridiculous.
It was a joke, right? Okay. Ha ha ha. Okay, here's an idea.
Was that you laughing at your Sphinx joke?
It wasn't a joke. Okay, like an umbrella. What would look better, an umbrella with a handle or an umbrella with a knob? And we mean before anybody writes in, this isn't the BBC, like, we don't care if you're offended. We do mean a doorknob, not a knob for a handle. Although that's, okay, next thing, after we've conquered the music world and the board game world, let's make umbrellas with penis-shaped handles for hen parties in the winter.
I mean, they definitely already are made somewhere.
You sure?
I don't want to Google it.
It's too late. It's too late. I've done my 2 Googles this session. It's someone else's turn.
I reckon if it's not a thing, we should make it a thing because there must be a lot of hen parties in the winter for people who get married at Christmas or like New Year. I'm sure that's a thing.
Oh wait, I get the hen party, but people who get married at Christmas want umbrellas with the cock handle.
No, I mean those are the people who are having their hen parties in the winter. Otherwise, you're having it in the summer.
Oh, okay. I was like, I mean, I can ask Lauren. We've agreed and disagreed on certain things with this wedding planning, but cock handle umbrellas have not come up yet.
Well, ask her.
I will do.
That should be the tagline to sell the cock umbrellas.
Do you take this cock handle?
No. Come on. That should be the tagline. Cock umbrellas, they always come up.
Come up where? That's disgusting, brother.
For the record, they do make umbrellas with knobs on.
Like,
they do?
Knobs or doorknobs?
Well, Rolls-Royce umbrellas that you get out of the door of the car have a little tiny knob on the end with the Rolls-Royce symbol on it.
You're not being specific with the word knob.
Well, it's not a Rolls-Royce cock, is it?
I don't know, but I'm assuming not from your tone.
I once went to a pub that had, instead of having a door handle, it had an axe in the door, and you had to pull on the axe to open the door. And that's probably better than a handle or a doorknob.
Or a cock.
Yeah.
I don't want axes being replaced for handles or knobs everywhere, just for the record.
Yeah,
I do.
Now I've got the image of John in his little kangaroo pouch with his feet hanging out, an axe handle hanging out between his legs.
So, anyway, yeah, handles. It's so much easier to use. I think it takes less. It takes less brain power. It takes less muscle power. It's a no-brainer, really.
Yeah, I mean, if I think the problem is if you are flummoxed by a doorknob, then, well, you don't really have much hope of doing anything the rest of the day, do you?
To be
stuck in a room.
To be fair, I'm with you on the fact that when everyone reaches a certain age, they should put in a room with just a door with a doorknob on, and if they can't figure the way out within a certain time, gas is released, and they're kind of lost. But without those people, it wouldn't make, let's be honest, people like us of average to a slightly above average intelligence look as good. And also, B, there wouldn't be as much money in the economy because things like Love Island wouldn't exist. So, and you're always going to need people to do the menial jobs. So, we need those people. You need workers. It's very similar to a communist state where everyone does the same thing, except we need those people to do the jobs that we don't want to.
Are you saying that door handles are oppressive capitalist inventions to keep the workers in their place?
I am. I'm also saying that thick people make the world go round.
Tyrannical, imperialist door knobs.
Yeah.
That's everything I stand for in one thing.
I have a fear we're going to lose another John from this podcast.
To the doorknob industry.
Yeah, we're going to be outside the doorknob industry picketing.
But no, I am joking about offending those types of people, but I imagine those types of people wouldn't have listened to us for much more than 20 seconds. But everyone has their place, and we should all know our place within reason. Like, I'm never going to be a person that changes the world, but we also need to make sure that the people that can't change the world can get into where they need to go to do the things they're supposed to do. And therefore, handle doors win, because otherwise we would just have a lot of people that can't get out of their own homes.
I reckon door knobs are better for if you've got a scratchy back. You can pinpoint where the scratch is, and you can...
No, but a handle's longer, which means you wouldn't need to spend as much time pinpointing. You'd find it quicker, therefore you'd be more productive.
No, they're sharper. You'll cut your back.
That's like saying, would you rather scratch your back on a little tree or a big tree? Big tree all the way. Bigger surface area.
No, but sometimes you want...
Bigger is always better. Bigger tree to scratch your back, better. Bigger steak for dinner, better. Bigger penis to satisfy a woman. That's why I was single for so long. Bigger is always better.
It's like when you want you want someone to put an elbow to massage your back rather than sort of use their whole hand. You need to get right in there and get that knot out your back. You can only do that with a doorknob.
No, I'd use the corner of the door handle if that was the case. Yeah, because doorknobs, they're quite big and round. There's no specific point on a doorknob that's smaller than everywhere else.
They're closer shaped to an elbow than a door handle.
And also,
I'm stopping it there.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous conversation. No, who uses a doorknob or a door handle to massage themselves? Fucking 21st century Baloo.
I'm going to say door handle wins.
Yes!
But again, not for any of your argument. My argument is...
This week's episode is sponsored by Nathan's approach to the first 20 episodes of Would John Rather's Matthew's approach to picking a winner. Not based on anything anyone said, but I decided before we started.
No, I was open, but neither of you really made a compelling argument either way. So I then reverted back to my own theory of door knobs. I tend to, because I've got quite large hands, scratch my knuckles twisting them against the edge of the door frames. So it's annoying. I don't think I've ever done it with a door handle. So yeah, door handles win.
I mean, it's a good reason as any, but okay. Well, some of us have been John, but most of us have not been. And, oh, look at me, I've got big hands. Because that was basically your final argument.
Why are you picking on me when I said you won?
Have you not listened before? That's how it works.